by grace through faith. Can I go and close it here? We have peace with God. And I want to talk about the benefits, because if you don't understand the benefits of being a child of God, you're not going to understand the stuff that he has put in your place. He said, therefore, being justified, we have peace with God. That's the first thing I talk about this morning, is that you have peace with God. And listen, my sisters and brothers, you cannot have the peace of God until you have peace with God. That's why some of our lives are so hellish. The wind is blowing so much. There's so much stuff happening to us, one thing after another. You just might be at odds with God. Because if you don't really know Jesus Christ, you're an enemy to God. But listen, if you accept Jesus Christ, you have peace with God. And I'd much rather have peace with God. That means I'm no longer an enemy of God. So through Jesus, I have peace with God. Say with me, I've got peace with God through Jesus Christ. But not only do I have peace with God, it said we have access into the presence of God. I think I better go and close it here. I've got access to the presence of God. In the Old Testament, I had to go to the priest, and I had to tell the priest my business. And then the priest would take it to the altar, and then he'd pray. In the Levitical system, every year the people would come together at the Day of Atonement. Can I go and preach it, y'all? And the priest would go behind the veil of the temple and offer up sacrifice on behalf of the people. And then the Lord would do something special. What I want to tell you, my sisters and brothers, that when Jesus died out on Calvary, the veil of the temple was rent into from top to bottom, and now no man has to go to him from me. I'll pick this up next week, but I realize I have access to him, and I could go to him for myself because of what Jesus did on Calvary. Is there anybody here you're thankful that you could go to him, and you know he will hear and answer your prayers? Have you ever tried to call him, Father, I stretch my hand to thee, no other help I know, if thou wilt draw, God help me here, thyself from me, oh whither shall I go? And I'm so glad I could go to him. Do you hear me today? When I'm burdened down, I could call on him. When sin is all around me, I could call on him. Father, that's all I want to tell you, Father. And he said, come on in, my child. I'm his friend. And he called me friend. What a friend we have in Jesus. All our sin and grief to bear. What a privilege it is to carry everything. God help me today. Everything to God in prayer. Have you talked to him? Are you glad you have access? Say, I'm glad I've got access to him. I could call him in the midnight hour. I could call him early in the morning. I could call him when trouble's all around. I need you to help me, Lord. And sometimes I didn't mean to get happy, but sometimes I don't have words to say. I just say mercy. Yes, sir. I say mercy. Mercy. And he will have mercy. Won't he have mercy? Won't he have mercy? Say he will. Say he will. He will have mercy on you? Won't he have mercy? Say yeah. Say yeah. Yes, he will. Yes, he will. That's how I shout. Yes, he will. Yes, he will. Is there anybody here? If you don't mind, somebody might need your encouragement. You ought to find 3 people and shake their hand and say, when you need him, you ought to call on him. If you don't mind this morning, you ought to stand on your feet and find 3 people and say, when you need him, just call on him. When you need him, just call on him. Oh, he will. He'll answer your prayer. He will, he will. I said he will. He will, he will. Make a way out of no way. He will, he will. Won't he do it? Won't he do it? Have you ever called him? Have you ever tried him? Do you really know him? Say yes. Say yes. Oh, God help me today. Yes, he will. 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 I know he will. He'll have mercy on you. Yes, he will. He'll have mercy on you. He did it for me. He'll do it for you. On a hill, called Calvary, Jesus, he gave his life for you and for me. I was trying to sit down, but I want to tell you something. On Calvary, a great exchange took place. He died for my sin, that I could live again. Yeah,